This book was fabulous. I am giving The 1000th Floor by Katharine McGee 5 out of 5 stars because I loved it. The 1000th Floor takes place 100 years in the future inside an apartment building that's 1,000 floors high. The higher up the floors go, the more elaborate and rich and big and amazing it is. So if you live up in the high floors, like I would say probably like 700 and higher, or 800 and higher, the floors have like streets instead of hallways. They have trees and simulated sunlight and stores and restaurants and gyms and arcades and schools and parks. All that great stuff. It's basically like the outside, except it's inside. It's basically its own city inside this crazy big apartment. And the lower floor apartments are just regular crappy apartments with hallways and nothing special. The beginning of the story, the very first page basically, someone falls off the roof of the building. So they fall off of the 1000th floor. And die, obviously. And then the story starts 2 months earlier, leading up to that incident. So you're like, who was it? Who's gonna die? Who's gonna fall off the roof? Is someone gonna jump? Is someone gonna push them? Oh my god! Well, the story follows 5 people. It follows Eris, Avery, and Leda, who are all friends who live in the very high floors. Avery lives in the penthouse in the 1000th floor. And Leda lives on like the 800th floor, 800 and something, I think. And Eris used to live on the 900th floor and has just at the beginning, close to the beginning of the story, moves down to the 100th floor with her mom. And then it also follows Rylan and Watt, who live on the lower floors. I think Watt lives on like the 100th floor or the 80th floor or something, I forget, and Rylan lives on like the 30th floor or something. So it follows all of these characters with their stories. They all basically intertwine. There's drama, there's secrets, there's lies, there's scandals. There's so much, and it's fabulous. It's told in the third person, but each character gets their own chapter, so it kind of just like recounts each character's point of view, I guess, from different situations, and it's really good. I feel like not much happened in the story because it was following 5 different people, but because it was following 5 different people, the fact that not much happened didn't really... It wasn't slow or anything, like, not much happened, but there was still a lot happening. There was still lots of information that you were finding out about. There were still lots of secrets and lies coming about, and people, different people finding out about them, and people almost finding out about them, and like, My favorite characters were Rylan and Watt and Cord. Cord was not a main character, he was just a side character, but I loved him so much. He was fabulous. And I thought Watt's character was really interesting, and I also really liked Rylan. An interesting thing that I liked about the story was that they have contacts that they use for their social media and their phones, basically. So they can text and make phone calls and post pictures and all that kind of stuff with their contacts, which is awesome. But that's not just a futuristic thing, that's also a rich thing. Regular people, like Rylan for example, still have regular phones. It's a tablet. I guess just because it does all the things, like the social media stuff and everything like that too, but it also works like a phone. I guess what they called it a tablet in this, but whatever. And the other thing that I liked about it was, now, because it follows different people from the different social structures, I guess, in the apartment, and one person who used to be rich and now is not, and that because it's like different floors that really separate you, like you'll go to a different school because you'll go to a school that's on lower floors, so it's really noticeable sometimes if you are showing up in a higher floor and you're not from that higher floor or whatever. So there's a lot of like social like hierarchy separating stuff, I guess, going on. But what I really liked about it was that some of the characters saw past that. But not only did some characters see past that and say, oh, I don't care that you don't have money, it doesn't bother me. There was one character in particular who it wasn't an issue that occurred to this person to even bring up. Like, it was just, I like this person. There you go. Which I really liked that about it. Like, there was never a conversation about, like, oh, I'm rich and you're not. There were a few things that came up where, like, oh, you've never tried this? Because this person's not rich and they can't afford that. But it wasn't like, oh right, you can't because you can't afford it. It was just like, what? They're great, try it. So I hope that makes sense, but I really liked that about it. Also, if you are looking for like books with like diversity and stuff, there is a bisexual character in this, and there's also a character from Iran. What I really liked actually about the bisexual character is that it wasn't like it wasn't something that like drove the story. She just happened to be bisexual. She had a relationship with a boy in the beginning, and then she had a relationship with a girl. Great! It was really good. The drama and the secrets and the scandals were fabulous. When I was explaining it to my boyfriend, I like stopped halfway through and I was like, oh my god, this sounds like a bad soap opera. But it's so good! So I guess if you're not one who's a big fan of the drama and the secrets and the over-the-top stuff like that, then maybe this isn't the book for you, but I thought it was good. I also, just getting closer towards the end, when you knew it was getting closer to the point where the person was going to fall off the roof, or be pushed off the roof, or jump off the roof, it was really intense, and I was like, oh my god, how's it going to happen? Who's it going to be? Oh my god! So it was great, and then it happened, and I'm obviously not going to tell you who it was, but let's just say the second book, it's going down.